Hello, welcome to WOLFpak Live. I'm your host, Wendy Fortino, and I'm not sure where you are at in the world right now watching, but I'm here with the one and only Javier Mendez, who is a world-renowned MMA coach. He owns AKA Kickboxing, and we have a lot to talk about. And Javier right now is in Russia, right?
Oh, I'm in Dubai.
Oh, you're in Dubai. I kept
I'm
saying you were
Dubai.
in. Why did I
Yeah,
think you were in Russia? I don't know
because you
why.
said because I'm everywhere all the time, but I'm usually in Dubai
I have
now.
no idea where you're at. You're everywhere. You're like, you were in
I'm a
Russia.
Dubai boy. I'm a Dubai
Okay.
boy right now.
All right. So he's in
I was supposed to
Dubai.
go. I was supposed to go to Russia.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't end up
So
going.
Russia was in my head. I've been making that every post I've made, by the way, I keep telling people you're in Russia. So I need to just.
Oh, you did?
I
Oh,
did.
okay.
Yeah. I messed
That's all
up.
right. Keep telling them I'm in Russia. That's all right. So they won't look for me. Oh, I'm not in Dubai. I'm in Mexico. I'm in Mexico. Tijuana or
See,
something like
I'm
that.
helping you. I'm helping you.
Yes, you're helping me. Thank
Yes.
you very much.
Yes, yes. Well, welcome to the show. It's so great to have you. But it is 9 a.m. your time, which is why if you're, here in California or somewhere in the United States, it probably is not, you're probably either early evening, late evening, but for Javier, it is early in the morning. 9
9
a.m.
a.m.
Okay, yeah. Well, okay, so Javier, we have a lot to talk about. But you just had you and your assistant coach Khabib, right?
Yeah, man, I keep saying assistant.
Assistant. Oh,
Yeah.
I won't like that very much. Oh gosh.
Yes,
Well,
he will. He's my
you
assistant. You're right. He's my assistant.
you
We don't
coached
call
him.
him Coach Habib.
You coached him, so he is an amazing coach. But you two both are amazing together. And you had the main fighter and the co-main fighter in UFC 311. And I want to talk about that because there's a lot that went down. And let's just dive right in because right out of the gate, you had Makhachev, who was supposed to go against, remind me who you're supposed to go against?
Armin Sarukin.
Okay. And it got switched up
Sarukin,
at
yeah.
the last minute. It got switched up to Moiko. So tell me about that switch up and how you felt about that, and just give me the rundown on that.
Well, first of all, when I heard that he was out and that Moicano was in, I dived right into looking at Moicano because I've never seen him. I know the name, I know who he is, but I've never seen him fight. So I said, "Oh, geez, I need to look and see what this guy's all about." So the good thing about Islam is that we don't care who he's fighting that day because he's prepared to fight anybody, any style. That's the way he's been preparing through myself, Habib, and the late Abdulmanap, Habib's father. So he's a total all-around fighter. That's why he's pound for pound number one. So for me, I didn't care who he was going to fight, as long as we had an opponent, and that's exactly what they gave us. They gave us an opponent, a real tough opponent that was on a good win streak, I believe 4-fight win streak, and making a lot of noise. Moicano is very, very vocal, and he was fun to watch in his speeches. So I said, okay, this could be fun. And once I looked at him, I said, you know, I thought Islam was better than him on the ground by far, better than the stand up. I think the stand up we could have probably won too, but I figured let's go the father's plan routine, and that's basically take him down. And that's what Islam did. But the whole idea is that, stand, stand, stand. When they don't expect him, take him down. And that's what Islam did. Stood with him, then took him down. But Habib and I both spoke to him right before he went out about what we wanted. And he always, always does exactly what Habib and I asked him to do.
Yeah. So, so leading into that fight, you had anticipated. What's that like when you're anticipating one fighter? Does that shake you at all? Or are you just like you said, you're just like, whoever they give us we're just focused on the title?
Yeah, I don't care, only because he's so well rounded. Obviously, if we're not so well rounded, then I would be shaken, because if I have the champion and I know he doesn't have a good ground game, and we're meeting an Olympic level type wrestling or MMA level type Olympic level wrestling guy, we're in
Yeah.
trouble, you know, and I
Yeah.
would be shaken by that. But, you know, the whole mentality of what we do is get rounded in all areas, like playing chess. You know, you have to know how to use your pawn, you know, your rook, your bishop, your knight, you know, and your queen and your king, protect your king. So that would be, you know, getting knocked out, choked out, you know, any kind of submission is protecting your king. So basically we train our guys to be well rounded. If we're not well rounded, there's the area that can be exposed, you know. It's like anything, like in bodybuilding. I'm sure you have the individual that's got this, but he's got weak calves. So he's obviously doing something to hide the fact he's got weak calves. So he wants you to pay attention to other parts of his body, I would imagine. That's what I'm
Yeah.
imagining. So you have to
Yeah.
be able to do that.
Well, it's kind of like one time I remember I was getting ready to compete in a contest, and there was a certain judge that I thought was going to be the head judge, and I had my mind made up that this judge really liked my physique. And as I'm in line getting ready to go on stage, they had a switch up, and there was another judge that in my head I thought didn't like my physique, and that was like in my mind I'm thinking, oh
Oh,
man,
mess
like
with your
just
confidence.
messed with me because it was like a last minute just change up that I thought was like, and I think that mind shift was not good. This is like earlier on in my career, you know, like things like that would rattle me, but you learn as you get more experience to not let those things get to you. But I do think that kind of stuff does mentally throw people off their game. You know what I mean?
So you understand 1,000,000% why I'm saying it's best to be well-rounded. So if you have the physique, you got to work all your areas. So it doesn't matter what judge is out there, you're going to perform, and that won't stop it. Because once you stop, that's when the problems happen, you know. And this is what I'm speaking about, exactly that, you know.
Yeah.
And make sure that all judges are going to like your physique no matter what. So that's why the
Yeah.
fighters that we train, you know, we make sure that they're good everywhere. We don't want them to lack any area, because if they do, there's the weakness that can be attacked. You know,
Right.
we don't want to be attacked. Don't like being
No,
attacked.
I don't like that either. let's keep let's keep out of it. We have like I said, you and Khabib you know, helping Makhachev, and I see you all have this really tight knit family feel. And when I look at your posts and I see everything that you guys share, I just feel almost like a part of the family, just watching the way that you guys share everything. And it's so awesome to see you and Khabib here with your arms around Islam. So tell me about this and what went into this, and you're all collaboration here.
Well, you know, the thing with these guys is they have the biggest respect for their coaches and their elders, and they show it every single one of these guys. Like, you know, there'll be sometimes 30 of these guys in the room, and I'm not in the room, but as soon as I walk in the room, almost no, they all stand up. They all stand up, because that's basically the respect for the elders, you know, and their
Yeah.
coaches. So they all stand up and they all greet me. And you know, if I'm sitting, I'm standing up. Sorry, excuse me. If I'm standing up and I'm watching a fight and there's seats down, they're sitting down. They will not
Yeah.
allow me to stand, even if I don't want to sit. That they'll insist that I sit down. It makes them feel bad that if I'm standing while they're sitting on the couch. They all do that. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
They will never not let me. And I go, no, no, I'm good, I'm good. And they'll go, no, 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 you sit, you sit. Because
Yeah.
it makes them feel better, because they don't want to be disrespectful. So every one of those guys, I love them so much, and the reason being is they're great people for me. And number one, the respect level that they have for
Yeah.
the close community, like you're saying, myself and the other coaches and each other. They call it brothers. Everybody calls each other brothers. And I say friends, but I'm trying to say brothers now more so, because I mean, I'm around that world now, and to say brother it means great friendship, you know, not
Mhm.
not just normal acquaintance, you know. And I feel like family with them. It's like Habib left me a beautiful voice message that said, "Coach, we're together for 100 years." So I don't know.
Aw.
Yeah.
So that means you gotta last.
Yeah, I gotta last. I might hold the record on that one.
Yeah, I feel like having that type of connection, I think that could actually really elevate somebody's ability to, like, we talked about this, I think, on your podcast, but you know, finding something from within that doesn't exist. Like sometimes it's an out of body experience. You're in the middle of a fight, there's nothing left, you're totally gassed out, but it just takes those couple words from your coach to give you that extra little spark and somehow find something from nothing. But I feel like when you have that like deep love for each other, I feel like those moments are just that much more powerful, right?
Yes, I keep doing this because I got,
Yeah.
I got greasy ears and my earbuds keep flowing. But
That's okay.
let me give you an example what you're talking about. I mean, you really do speak really well on these subjects and understand the psychology behind all this. But I'll give you an example. I had my one fighter here. His name's Hadi Omar. He's probably the best. No, he is the best fighter in the United Arab Emirates. UAE, in other words. And before his fight, I went up to him. I said, "Hey, listen." I go, "You're here. You worked hard for this moment. Now you need to go give it your all. You need to give it your absolute positively best, because if you don't, there'll be regrets. And there's nothing but success can come when you give it your all. Because if you don't become successful and you gave it your all, you have nothing to regret.
Yeah.
It's all, you left it out on the line. So it's in God's hands what happened. It's just the way it is. So I go give it what you got. So I motivated him before the fight started. And right after the second round, he was losing his steam. So
Yeah.
I reminded him again, remember what I told you. You got to go and give it your best, because this is it. This is your only time. You don't have tomorrow. This is your only time to give it your best. So you go out there and you give it your best. And you hear him speaking about it, and you watch his action, and you understand the results it got from that. So the
Mhm.
motivation and find the key words, is what you're speaking about. And I use it all the time. All the time I
Mhm.
use it all the time. It does work. And we just have to understand it. If we understand it, then we can play with
Yeah.
it. If we don't understand it, we can't. And think about this: the people that
Mhm.
hypnotize you, they
Mhm.
understand it better than everybody, because they make you do things that you don't even know you're doing.
I've never
You
been
know,
hypnotized before. Have you?
no, never. But I watch it. I wouldn't want to hypnotize me,
It
because
looks very
I,
convincing, but I have a hard time believing that
I,
sometimes.
I, I,
You believe it?
I'm on the fence because I've never
We
had it done to me.
got we
You
gotta
know,
do it to believe it or not.
yeah, but I don't. Maybe it won't work on me. I'm too strong.
Yeah, you're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
they
ain't gonna
can't
work on me.
tap
Next,
into this."
next, I'm like this, like a zombie.
Well, let's put it this way. Let's keep it on the table. We have to experience that, and then we'll figure out if it's
Okay,
real or not. Yeah, we'll just like put that on
greasy
the
ears.
table. But I do want to talk about this because, okay, speaking of finding something from within that you didn't know could possibly be there. Okay, let's actually switch gears. We may go back to Makhachev, but I want to like dip into Umar's match, with Merab, because something that no one knew until after the fight was over was that he had broke his hand, and this was after the second round, right?
First round,
He broke
he
this in
broke
the
it.
first.
Very first round. Yeah, he broke it. That's why.
What?
Yeah, he broke it in the first round. And the bad part about it is, he didn't tell Habib or I. So, we're telling him what to do, how to stick to the plan, how to do this, how to do that. And it was basically not to run too much from him and come in inside, keep in range, but stay inside and keep using their hands, etc., etc. And go for the takedowns here and there once in a while. But when he went for the takedowns in the first round, I noticed Merab was super, super strong. So I told
Mhm.
him after the first round, don't go for any more takedowns. But when your hand's hurting like that, it's one of those things where he's trying to do what we want him to do, but he's doing things that are, protecting himself. Like, if I can't really punch this guy, maybe I can grapple. But then you go in and try to grapple with a guy. When you have a hand like that, that hand's not really capable of grappling. It really isn't. So
Yeah.
you're not in a good position to really do much. And
Right.
he never said a word. Never said a word. We had
That's
no
crazy.
idea. Yeah, because had he told us, maybe he
Yeah.
was afraid that we would
Yeah.
have canceled the fight,
Yeah.
maybe, or because that is possibility that we would have done that. That we would have just said, no, we're done. We can't win this fight like this.
Yeah.
But the way he was fighting, we were in the fight. We
Yeah.
won the first 2 rounds for sure. Then the third round was probably where we didn't win, but it was close. And the fourth round we definitely didn't win. And then the fifth round, Merab threw a great acting job, and it wasn't a connect on anything, but he acted like the winner. And Umar was the one that was super tired, and Merab kept shooting in and out. So he did a great job of playing to the judges, and that's what you're
Yeah.
supposed to do. So
Yeah.
the champ kept the title because he did what he needed to do. And
Right.
as much as that hurt me, I have to accept the fact that somebody did a great job, and that was
Yeah.
Merab.
Okay, so that's interesting because I look at MMA as like an objective sport for the most part because a strike is a strike, a kick is a kick. I mean, you're judging takedowns, and these are objective things that you're judging, but there does seem to be like a little bit of subjectivity because if you're exuding this high level of confidence in the match and you look like the champion, that could come across as you're doing more than is actually going on. So it's interesting. It's like fascinating to me. And I don't know, maybe you can explain a little bit better the subjectivity component of the judging criteria. I don't know. It's a little interesting to me.
It is a great one to do because I was working with Umar that after the fight would be over, that you walk with your head up high, you're the winner, act like you're the winner, because it is subjective. If it's a really super close fight, and here you got one guy that's oh, I got it. Sometimes the judge will go, oh, he's the winner if it's that close. So
Mhm.
so that's why you got to act like you're the winner. You got to act like you're fresh, not like you're dog dead tired, which was Umar did. But in all fairness, having a broken hand, the science behind it is when you have a broken hand and you're using that hand, you waste a lot more energy.
Yeah.
That's not me saying he was out of shape.
No,
No, it's the
no,
science that
no,
says
no.
that got him out of shape was based on the fact that he had a broken hand and he was using
Yeah.
it. And if we would have known, we would have had him not use it at all, hardly, because look
Yeah.
what happened. Now he's got a plate in his hand, so
Yeah.
and potentially could be out up to a year,
Yeah. Well,
whereas it could have
yeah.
been just in a couple months, and now we're out
Yeah.
a year because he didn't tell us and we didn't know.
Well, there's a systemic chain reaction that happens when you break something. Your entire body responds to that. It definitely gasses you out. I mean, there's a scientific explanation for that,
Yes.
but at the same time, I would say Marab definitely looked like he had endless energy. He looked like he could go on and on and on. And he did put on a really good show. I mean, but
He
that's
did.
part of the psychology of it. And
Uh,
that's part of winning the match. You know what I mean?
yes,
Um,
yes. Energizer Bunny rabbit. That's what I call him, the Energizer Bunny. Because when you said
yeah.
going on and on, that's the commercial. Go
I
ahead,
think,
remember the bunny's gone and on and on and
yeah,
on.
I remember those commercials. They were the best. They were the best. All right.
That's him.
This is what the fans want to know. The fans want to know, as a coach, what do you think about a rematch between Merab and Umar when Umar is like healed and it could be, whatever happens, it's like there's no broken hands and everything is, you know,
Yeah.
even.
Well, first of all, before this fight happened, everybody was talking about Umar. His hand was hurt already, this and that. And I'm going, no, I didn't see him being hurt in training. I didn't see nothing. So I don't want to focus on any kind of excuse that his hand was broken, et cetera, et cetera. It was just healed. So I asked Khabib, I go, Khabib, people keep talking about Umar's hand or his arm. What did he re-hurt that arm that it was injured before? He goes, no, no, coach, it was the other hand. So
Mhm.
no
Hmm.
excuses. What happened? He broke his hand, and we did the best he could. He didn't tell us, but that was it. So no,
Yeah.
it wasn't anything else.
Okay. Yeah, but that didn't answer my question.
I know, but I forgot your question because I was rambling about that.
I
So
want to know. Okay, I want to know your thoughts. If
caught
you
me.
I did. I'm like, wait a minute. I want to know what your thoughts are about them having a rematch.
The rematch part, I want, but it doesn't necessarily have to be him. It just has to be whoever holds the title. We're not after Merab. We're after the title. He's right now, based on what he's done. I believe he's beat four champions, destroyed him. O'Malley's, Henry Cejudo, and
Yeah.
Peter Yan. you know,
Yeah.
they're all great fighters, and I think one
Yeah.
more he's beat. So this guy's a beast, you know.
He
So the
is.
rematch, if he's still the champion when we get another opportunity, I welcome it because we want to fight the best. We don't want to fight someone that we can beat easy, this and that, and
Yeah.
everybody say, well, you didn't fight the best. We want to fight the
Right.
best. You know,
Yeah.
and when he, you know, when he wins the title, and hopefully he wins the title, and now say inshallah because that's God's will. That's what they mean. They say that over here all the time, but I need to say that more often because they all say it to me, and I don't say nothing, and then I'm like inshallah, so I go God's will. So let's see if we can get that opportunity
Yeah.
to come back. But I don't think we're going to be able to get it a rematch. I think we're going to have to win one or two fights, you know, and before the UFC grants us another opportunity, and
Yeah.
that's fine. We have to earn our spot. There's nothing wrong with that.
Can you explain that to me? How does it work? How do you get a main or a co-main event? How do you work your way up to that?
Well, it's all based on you know, viewers to the screen type thing, eyeballs to the screen. This sport of fighting, it's never been authentic, real sport because if it's authentic, real sport, number one will always go against number two. In this situation here, like for instance, Islam going against Moicano in a real
Mhm.
sport would never happen
Yeah.
because Moicano was number 10 or something like that. That would never happen. So
Yeah.
in the UFC, it's all based on what sells, you know, and what doesn't sell, or what's necessity. What's a necessity? Because you know, it's all about the promotion must go on. It's all about making the most money. So it's not about, you know, number one and number two. It's about entertainment. Like, listen, if I'm telling you, I'm going to make more pay-per-views from this fighter fighting this fighter versus that fighter fighting this person, then you know, obviously if I'm making more pay-per-views, that means more fans want to watch it.
Yeah.
So we're giving them what the fans want if you're
Right.
being realistic about it. So yeah, it's maybe not fair to that particular fighter, and maybe
Yeah.
they have to make some noise. But if they don't make the noise, then you know, sometimes you get left out. That's why
Yeah.
certain fighters take a long time to get there. Like Bilal Muhammad, he had to have a lot of fights before he got a title shot. A lot of fights. You know, he was
Yeah.
on a 10-fight win streak before he was able to fight for the title because he wasn't making noise. Now he becomes the champ, and now Bilal's making noise. So it's kind of like, you know, if he'd have made noise
Yeah.
back then, it might have worked for you, you know. But now
Yeah.
he's making noise, but he's the champ now, so it
Yeah.
works. So it's not a sport first; it's entertainment, then sport.
Interesting.
Okay, because if it was sport, the UFC couldn't not just forget the UFC. Any
Yeah.
promoter couldn't make the matchups that they want. They're
Yeah.
going to sell
Yeah.
for them. They couldn't do
Well,
that.
it's a business. I mean, I get that, you know. I am wondering, so Moicano, who ended up getting that main fight, he was, you know, ranked number 10 or something going in.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what was that choice because he was like one of the only other light heavyweight competitors in
No,
the,
lightweight. Yeah, no, there
so
was there
they
was
were
another one.
matching
Yeah,
him
there
up?
was the other one. Yeah, there was another one. His opponent that he was supposed to fight, you know, he didn't get the opportunity because, and now I forgot his name. But his opponent that he was supposed
Yeah.
to fight,
Yeah.
didn't get it only because Moicano was on a 4-fight win streak. Not that
Right.
he
Right. Right.
he you know, he was on a higher level than the other opponent. The other opponent's more well known.
Daniel
Beneil
Dariush.
Dariush. There you
Yeah.
go. Beneil Dariush. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did I forget his name? I don't know why. You know, he's a famous guy.
We
So
all brain
Beneil,
fart once in a while.
yeah, yeah. Beneil was rightfully the more known guy, but
Yeah.
Moicano was on a 4-fight win streak. So and had a bigger
Interesting.
roar. So he got it based on exactly what we just that's exactly what we're talking about. There was more
Hmm.
buzz on Moicano, even though
Yeah.
Beneil is probably ranked higher. So you see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So in a real
Yeah.
sport, it would have been Beneil getting the shot. But this is
Interesting.
entertainment. So that's why
Right.
Moicano gets it. And hey, if I'm a promoter,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, and I want to make more money, feed my family, you know, I'm going to do
Yeah.
that too because I'm
Right.
allowed to. I'm allowed to
Right.
do it. So why wouldn't I do it?
Totally. Well, we're looking at I'm just going to show this really fast. I mean, we're looking here. We had Makhachev and oh my gosh, you're able to say his last name. Our say our mom.
Sarukin, Armin
Yeah.
Sarukin. Yeah.
Okay. So we had this fight, and then we go down to the other lightweight fight, and we go with Moicano instead.
Moicano and Beneil.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense now. Okay. Because, you know, it's interesting when they choose somebody to take that spot. But that was a great opportunity for Moicano, and
Moicano, yeah,
he's a great fighter. I mean,
he is. He is.
he's still, I mean, it was a short fight, but it was still pretty powerful. I mean, I thought he did really good.
He did. He came in with confidence. The stand up was fairly close. You know, we were slightly edging him, but we weren't killing him by any means. But the whole idea was to not stand with him. The whole idea was to
Right.
take him down because I told him, you know, I said we can stand with him, but you know what? It'll be closer. So on the ground, I don't think he's your level. You know,
Yeah.
and so that's why Habib and I in Islam, we said, okay, that's the game plan. And keep in mind, the thing about Islam, he's so well rounded. I say it all the time. We can change him any way we want. We can tell him round by round, minute by minute, second by second how to fight, and he'll do it because he can. And he's good in every area. So that's the good thing about having somebody that's that good. You know, he's a great chess player, in other words.
Yeah. Exactly. You know, I thought was really cool is Joe Rogan is like still in the UFC space doing everything.
Yeah.
He was doing the commentating and he was in the mix. I don't know what your thoughts are, but I love seeing Joe Rogan still killing it.
Joe Rogan, you know, he was almost a pioneer, not quite, you know, but he was almost a pioneer when the UFC first started, and he's killing it. I mean, like look at these podcasts.
I
It was
know.
number one. I don't think it's number one anymore. I think someone took that position from him as
No,
the number one.
really?
Yeah, I think so. Somebody told me there's somebody else that's number one now, and but he's still top two, top three, you know.
Yeah.
But no, he's fantastic, very knowledgeable, black belt, you know, jiu-jitsu, you know, a black belt taekwondo, very explosive kicks, and he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And he's very, and he's also a comedian. He's a good
Yeah.
comedian. I've seen his show. He's very good. So Joe Rogan is multitask talented in many different areas, and I
It's
don't know
crazy.
him personally very much, but he's very good guy.
Yeah.
And you know, I really haven't listened to his podcast, you know, that he does, but you know, the guy's got a great voice. He has great knowledge,
Yeah.
and he knows how to hit the hot buttons.
Yes, he does. He really does. He's good at that. I just I enjoyed that he was doing the commentating, and it feels like there's this sense of nostalgia that you want to feel with a sport that you grow to love. You know, it's the same thing in bodybuilding. It's the same thing in, you know, in MMA. You see the people that maybe he wasn't like the pioneer, but you see people that were around when you know, remember getting really into it. And it's just really cool when you see them continue through the journey, and you just kind of feel like it's home, right? It just feels this nostalgic. You recognize it. Feels like you're at home,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, you know, it's just, you know, it's funny that you mentioned nostalgic when it feels like home. And well, the thing of it is that I never could understand this either. And you can explain it to me too. Okay,
Okay.
competition. We're competitors. I fight, you know, my different opponents I've ever fought, right? And the people you competed with. I don't know how it is with you, but let me tell you about me. The individuals that I had fought for world titles or fought on my way up, I never talked to them. I don't know them. But if I ever see them on the street, we're like little girls giggling and laughing. Hey, how are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like going, I don't know this guy, but why do I feel like I know this guy? And I'm thinking, because we
Yeah.
try to kick the crap out of each other. Maybe there's some kind of bond, but I'm thinking just now, I'm just thinking now, I'm thinking you probably have the same thing with a competitor that you were going toe to toe with, and it was so close, you know, or it wasn't so close, but still you're a competitor with somebody in the States. If you see them and you never talk to them, have you been able to communicate with these individuals at another level than just barely meeting them?
Yeah, because you experience so many of the same things. Like you guys have joined these parallel universes that you feel that you're the only ones who can relate to it, right? So even like the moment that you share this fight, and there's this unspoken bond because you are the only two people who experience that moment. And that bond is like ingrained in, you know, that current and the future times that you ever even run into that person. It's like this unspoken bond you can't quite explain, but it's very real. Yeah.
So, So it's good for all competitors then that I'm correct, because I
Yeah.
couldn't I was always trying to figure out why the heck I wanted to knock this guy out, and now here I want to hang out with him. It's like,
I
what
mean, the
the heck?
experience is different for each person because one person won and one person didn't.
Yeah.
But you still experience it together. And so there's that.
Yeah. Well, one person won, but it's not as important, believe it or not. It's not as
Yeah.
important, because I met one person to beat me, and
Yeah.
of course I beat him, but we're one on one with each other. But we're like best friends, but we're not. But we acted like it. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, if you aren't and that person thinks you are, now they won't. No, I'm kidding.
Well, you trying to put it out there? I didn't say the
You just
name.
you
Oh
put
no,
it
I
out
did
there. You
say
didn't
that.
say names.
I didn't have to say names. Just I
That's
didn't look at
good.
the records. I just have to look at the records and go, oh, this is the guy. And go, ugh. But if you're out there, buddy, we're still homies.
You could be doing that to a lot of people, so you could be talking about anyone, right? We don't know.
No, I can't because I fought him 2 times. He's up to, if people know, they know who I fought 2 times
Now you
and won
won the
one, lost
world,
one.
right? You won the world kickboxing title in 1992, 1993.
No, in 1992, I won the light cruiserweight ISKA world title against Mark Longo,
Okay.
and I lost it in '94 against Merab Petrowski, and then
Hmm.
in 1995, I won the light heavyweight ISKA kickboxing title against Conrad Pla, who's a movie. He's in movies now. He does movies. Conrad Pla is in movies. So that's basically the individuals I fought for the titles.
Yeah, you had a really awesome career, but you had a point where you just decided that coaching was more where you felt that was your passion, that was your heart. Tell me about that.
Didn't feel it was my passion, it was my heart. It was something that I just fell into because
Mhm.
basically I got involved in fighting because I never accomplished anything in my life. And I always be the would have, could have, should have guy. So
Mm.
I'd be the guy to say, oh, I could do that. I could do this. I could beat that guy. I could do that. Well, I have a good friend of mine that's deceased now named Juan Alexander, who's my roommate, and we were running on the track, and here I am going spouting off how I could beat this guy, I could do this, I could
Mhm.
do this, I could do that. And then he says to me, he stopped running, goes, you know what, I'm sick and tired of you talking crap. I go, you
Mhm.
never accomplished nothing, you never did this, you never did that, you got no right to talk. I don't want to hear you talk until you've done something, until you've competed like I've competed in boxing, I've done this, and I can talk, you can't talk, shut the hell up. I was
How old
so
were you?
upset. 24, about
Okay.
24. So he
Okay.
told me, shut the hell up. And I was a martial artist with him. We were in martial arts, so I was like very upset. He told me that, but he was right. I didn't want to admit he was right, but he was right. And the
Okay.
very next week, I was with Scott Coker, who's, was my instructor and still to this day, my best friend. We were at a Denny's restaurant and he was doing, an exhibition bringing a famous fighter by the name of Bill Superfoot Wallace, who was linked to Elvis Presley, John Belushi, the one that died, the great John Belushi, the
Mhm.
actor. Um,
Yeah.
so Bill Superfoot Wallace was going to do an exhibition with, and Scott needed more than one person to do it because one of the other people that had done it got knocked out by this guy last time. So they really didn't want to get that guy in there because Bill's kind of mean.
Mm.
So they asked me, he said, you, and I said, I'll do it, and Scott said, okay, you're in. But I was not really serious. I was joking, I'm not going to fight this guy, So when Scott says I'm in, I was gonna say, no, 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 I'm just joking. But then that Juan Alexander came in my head, shut the hell up. You never done nothing. So I did
Serious?
it. Yeah. So I did it. I started training in cardio kickboxing at 24-hour fitness, because I
What?
didn't know what the hell I was doing. Yeah. So I no sparring, no nothing, because I didn't know. I didn't know what this was all about, So, and then
Wow.
I watched a seminar with Bill Superfoot Wallace, and uh, I'm so glad I saw the seminar because when I saw what he was doing,
Yeah.
oh my God, he's so fast with that. He only had like one leg. His lead left leg is the only thing he used. He couldn't use the other leg, just the left leg. But that left leg was lightning, like lightning pass.
Why couldn't he use
So
his other leg?
he had some kind of judo injury or something.
Okay.
So he was a one leg. I mean, he could walk. Don't get me wrong, but for
Yeah.
kicking, he really couldn't use his right leg, only his
Got
left
it.
leg. But he used one leg like better than anybody in the world I've ever seen. Still to this day, And
Wow.
I saw him. I kind of told myself, "What the hell did I get myself into? I'm in trouble." I said I better keep my hands up. So going
Yeah.
into the fight, I go into the fight. I keep my hands up, and it was going pretty fun, we hit one for one, but I'm doing it's kind of fun. So
Yeah.
the announcer says, how many of you guys think, Bill's winning this, this sparring? And Bill does this like to put his hands up like for people to clap for him. Nobody clapped. Nobody clapped. And then Scott Coker comes up. He says, "Hal, you want to come down?" And I'm looking at him like, "No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I was
Yeah.
having fun, you know." Well,
Yeah.
next thing you know, the next round started. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh no. Now it was a different story. Well, I didn't have the same fun that was the first round. He was playing with me. Second round, he took it to me. He hit me, but
Yeah.
my instincts took over and I hit him. He hit me,
Yeah.
I hit him. He hit me, I hit him. So it wasn't like he beat me up, but what he did do is the first round was a breeze, easy. Second round, I was tired. I was so tired, and I bloodied him up a little bit. So
Yeah.
he wanted to get me to go another round because I would have never made another round. He would have knocked me out because
Right.
he's the professional. I'm not. I was a gifted kid, I guess, but I
Right.
was not the professional. So I wanted, he's trying to grab me by the arm. Come on, Javier, let's
Yeah.
go one more time. I'm like, oh no, I'm done. I was only supposed to do 2 rounds. I'm done.
Yeah.
Because but he wanted to beat me up because I hit him pretty good. He hit me really good. He hit me. Most important thing, impressive thing about him is he hit me to the body, and I felt it go to the other side. I'm like, oh my God, it hurts. So it changed everything for me. From that
Yeah.
point there, everybody thought I should fight. So I did the fighting only because of the shut the hell up. You haven't done nothing in your life, blah, blah, blah. But in all fairness, I did nothing in my life because I grew up poor. My family
Yeah.
was poor. We were on food stamps, et cetera, et cetera. So my parents never thought of putting me in sports. My parents didn't even think about bringing me to the dentist or anything of that nature. So
Wow.
it wasn't something as coming to the US when I was 6 years old, and my parents just being normal laborers. My mother never worked. My father was a laborer, so it was not something that was instilled in us to go to the dentist, go to see a doctor. How's your school? We want you to be this. Go to college. None of that. None of that. So, and
Yeah.
the money was never there, so I never got to play sports. But it was in me. It was in me to play sports.
Yes, it is in you. Well, you get motivated by tough love, it sounds like, and somebody telling you need to get it together. But you are one of the best coaches in the world. What's your coaching style? Like, how do you motivate people the most? How do you motivate your fighters?
Well, the way I motivate them is I look at things that who they are, what they're all about, because no fighter's the same. I can't say the same thing to one fighter, say it to the other. I look at trigger points for everybody, but everybody has a trigger point. Everybody has a passion. Everybody has a love that's going to make him, motivate. The one thing I don't do is what I call PMA. It's called
Mm.
positive mental attitude. And I learned this from Scott Coker, who learned from Ernie Reyes, senior, the West Coast master, West Coast Taekwondo master. He is a grand master of all masters, in my opinion, and he changed my life. But anyways, the PMA thing stands from don't be negative with anybody. If you have something negative to say about somebody,
Yeah.
bring it right up with a positive. So tell somebody, hey, don't tell somebody they suck. Say, hey, you need to
Mhm.
work. You need to work this particular technique, but let's work it this way. Let's put some time into it, et cetera, et cetera. Versus, oh, you suck. Don't use that at all. That's not PMA. That's just negative
Okay.
feedback that a lot of coaches do, and doesn't work the right mentality for someone that want to give you their best. But if you encourage somebody by telling
Mhm.
them good things that they can appreciate, that you care
Yeah.
about them, nobody wants to be beat like a dog, in other words. And
Yeah.
that's what a lot of coaches have done. I don't know about your
Yeah.
world because I'm not in that world, but I know in my world, a lot of coaches would do that, or a lot of coaches think that their way is the best way, not realizing that there's many different ways of doing things, not just your way.
Yeah.
Everybody's different.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's like you probably experience this too in your world, but I think when somebody's new and they're not experienced in a world and they see like stars and lights and they want to achieve something, they feel like they go to the first coach who maybe operates that way and they think, "Oh my God, this is what I have to do. I have to like take this like tough love that's kind of berating and everything like that." But what happens is as people go through their journey and they increase their level a little bit, then they start getting a little bit wiser for it and they reflect on it. And some people take it to social media and they like rip their old coaches. It's kind of like a drama filled world. And there's a lot of coaches now. Like when I first started competing in 2008, there weren't any coaches. I mean, there weren't any online coaches. Instagram didn't even exist at the time, you know? It was really just, I mean, Matt and Ray, you know, our friend Ray, Hani. There were like a few coaches, but there weren't a bunch of coaches. And so I feel like, you know, that kind of situation where like there's coaches who are, you know, really like kind of berating and stuff like that. I don't know. Some people think that's what it takes, but it could the first time when somebody's inexperienced and they don't know better, but as they get more experience, they realize that that's probably not the best.
I've never felt that was the best, and I've learned a lot of my lessons through bad coaching. You know, not
Mm,
great coaching. I didn't have. I had someone that loved me, you know, and I had people that resented me, and I had people that were egotistical. I had them all,
yeah,
so I learned from all of them. And if you didn't learn from any of them, then then you should have learned from them. You should have learned what you want and what you don't want,
yeah,
and that's the thing, so you have to learn to adjust to every situation, and you got to understand not every one coach is 100% right. Like
yeah,
you can listen to somebody that has love for the sport. Like somebody
yeah,
can come up to you and tell you, "Hey, Wendy, your traps maybe look like they're a little too big for your body," and you're like, this guy's never done nothing or she's never done nothing in her life. And you're looking at her like, what the hell are you talking about? Shut up. You don't know nothing. Let my coach tell me. You don't know nothing. But
yeah,
if you're open-minded, you may look and you go, she may have brought something up, or they might have brought something up that you go, darn it, they're right. You know why? Because they have, some of these people have love, and they pay attention, and it is the way it is. I have two brothers of mine that they're here in Dubai, Sheikh Rashid and Sheikh Maktoum Hamdan, and they love the fight game, boxing, MMA, and they say things to me all the time, and I listen to them, and my gosh, they're almost 100% right every single time about everything. I even ask them questions.
wow,
I swear to you, I have them look at videos of Usman Nurmagomedov, Habib's cousin. I go, hey, what can you pick up on this? Both of them. And they both come up with different answers. And guess what? They're both right. And they're both
wow,
picked up things that I didn't pick up. So I learned that don't think that if you're not a coach that you can't teach. You have
yeah,
to learn that there's people that have love, or some people are just super sharp. They could
yeah,
just look at things and tell you things. So don't close your mind to anybody. Listen,
yeah.
you don't have to take everybody's advice, but you shouldn't just close your mind to anybody. They might have something that's valuable.
That's interesting for you to say because I would think that you'd be really protective of your circle, but you're not. You're so open and free and you want what's best for the athlete. You want them to listen to their body. What about Habib? You guys coach together. What's his style like?
Uh, Habib's style is very strict, very disciplined, very much like his father, the great Abdulmanap. They're there. You got to train after the fight. I mean, you get maybe 1, 2 days off, but not much time. You got to come back to training, and it's a routine. These guys are the best in the world. They got the best team in the world, and I am so proud to be part of it. AKA
Mhm.
Abdulmanap Gym, or basically Abdulmanap Gym, AKA. Before AKA was the premier, Abdulmanap was second. Now Abdulmanap is first, aka is second, So,
Yeah,
but we're
yeah,
still together. We're still the same team. Um, but yeah, the discipline that he has is from his father. His coaching style comes from his father too. His father used to
yeah,
go crazy in the corner and very, very, very emotional, very, very, animated. So it's kind of
yeah,
fun to watch him. I used to. watch the fights while I'm watching like this, and I go put my hand out to the side, tell Habib,
Yeah.
calm down, calm down. But I'm watching the fight, but it was never working for me. So I just said, you
I
know what,
know.
I'm not gonna
I
do
saw
that no
that.
more. So I told him, I'm not doing this no more. You know, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. Let the
Yeah.
commission, they sit right behind
Yes.
him, and they're bringing them down. And it's really funny because on the one
Yeah.
fight, Habib keeps standing up. The commissioner, it keeps bringing him down, gets up, bring down, and me. I'm good because let them do what they want to do. I'm focusing on the
Yeah.
fight, and it's much better for me rather than calm down, calm down. I just
Yeah.
focus on what I can see in our our fighter fighting the other opponent, what I can see that we can do different, or what we're doing good that he needs to keep
Yeah.
doing. So
Yeah.
him as a coach, unbelievable. He's on track to being the greatest coach of all time. It's provided that's what he wants to do. I don't know. He's a family man. He loves his
Yeah.
family. And the thing about Habib is he to me he's the greatest fighter of all time in MMA. And I used to talk to him way back in the day, like, I don't know what it is about you, but there's something special about you. And I used to say to him, like Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali to me is the greatest boxer of all time, the greatest
Yeah.
human being of all time as a sports athlete because of what he's done.
Mhm.
I didn't know this, but Muhammad Ali built 70 mosques. 70 mosques in his lifetime. 70. He built for people,
Oh my
70
gosh.
mosques. Yeah, forget about just that. All the continuous things that Muhammad Ali had done throughout his whole life is unbelievable. And like Habib, he's done many things now, and he's building his
Yeah.
resume on helping people, being a humanitarian, being a good people, a person. I mean, he buys usually over 100 tickets for his friends and family, to go to these events. He flies them down and puts them in hotels. He does all these things, for people that are his brothers or
Wow.
people he cares about. He's always done that. Like me, I'm in Dubai,
Yeah.
and you think that I'm on my dime? No,
Yeah.
no, I'm on his dime. He pays for everything. He loves
Yeah.
me so much. He takes care of me. That's what he does, and he takes care of me, and it's an unbelievable bond. But like I said, I love him so much. It's crazy, It's like anything against him, I'm against because we're brothers like that, it is what
Yeah.
it is, I like to consider myself as his older brother, not
Yeah.
like his uncle or nothing like that. People say you're like his uncle. I go, no, I'm his brother, his
We're
older brother.
brothers. Yes.
Yeah, we're
Well,
brothers.
I think that you guys have complementary coaching styles, it sounds like. And what he does, I think it works for him. He likes to be in charge, and in his culture, you're the coach, you get all the respect. And I think that's in the best interest of the athletes too, because if you're an athlete, you want to feel like you have a leader who you can trust and you can follow. So if he is really good at keeping everyone in check, that is going to help everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's great. He's not good. He's great. He's great
Yeah.
at it, and
Yeah.
the other thing he's great at is what he did. I mean, after this last fight, he made a speech, regarding Ireland and
Hmm.
Dagestan, and he said
Yeah.
that, we love you people, we love Ireland. This is a sport, etc., etc. I'm not saying verbatim what he said, but the
Yeah.
gist of it is that we love
I have it right here if
Ireland.
you want to listen to
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Listen to it because this is what he's all about.
One thing is all these things beginning from my side and other guy when he was fighting. But don't forget, Ireland is the biggest supporter in the world for Palestine. Don't forget about this. We love you guys. You, your government, everybody. Here inside the cage, only competition. MMA, all about respect. We love you guys because you guys support our brother in Palestine. We love you guys. I just want to let you know. Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you so much.
Under the dazzling
That was
So see, these are the type of things that make him beautiful and make him loved by the Muslim community and just people in general, And look, listen, there's always this side and that side opinion, but he speaks up for what he believes in,
yeah.
and that's what he does. He likes to help, if he
Yeah.
can help, he will help.
Well, I
Um,
think regardless of what you think, it's like anyone supporting anyone is always a positive thing. Like if I'm supporting you and showing love for you, that's a good thing. So I mean, I don't know how there could be any kind of, that's
Well,
all
I mean,
positive.
if you're looking at it from the other side, the other side may not be too happy the way supporting them because then you're not supporting them. And me,
Yeah.
the way I am, I'm a humanitarian. This is my belief. My belief is women children should never be harmed in any capacity, any type of conflict. They should be out of harm's way. If you want to fight with so and so, then you go at it. Set your turf. Set to this. But why do little innocents have to suffer and lose their lives? I will never get that. And not like I said, I'm not talking one particular side or another. I'm talking
No, you
all
don't have
sides.
to. Yeah.
A child is a child. An innocent woman is innocent. An innocent, they're innocent, and
Yeah.
what did they do to deserve not the opportunity to live a happy life, and their life's taken from them because of somebody else's conflict, and
Yeah.
that's the only thing that saddens me is that we can't find a resolution where peace, and to be honest with you, that's one of the biggest reasons why I love Trump, because Trump is not about war. He's about business, and I'm here in the UAE, and trust me, everybody here loves Trump because they don't want war. They want peace.
Right.
Granted, not everybody loves Trump, and I'm not trying to make this a political thing, but I'm
No.
just saying the facts. The facts
Yeah.
are he's working to stop these wars, and I mean, I hate to say it, and I don't hate to say it. I'm proud to say it that he's the greatest president in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And what he's doing, I'm pro-Trump, and,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
not ashamed. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm pro-Trump.
Good
I
for
love what
you.
he does, and because he's trying to save lives.
Yeah.
The other
Yeah.
ones are trying to explain why lives are taken. Don't explain why lives are taken. Save lives.
Yeah.
And that's what he's trying to do, and that's why I respect and love him.
I think that everybody should be able to feel the way they want to feel and speak what they want to speak and have the freedom to do that. So I support, your freedom of speech completely.
I
Yeah.
just support humanitarian. I just don't think the
Yeah.
innocent should be hurt, and I'm not talking one
Yeah.
side or the other, I'm
Yeah.
talking all sides. Every
No, I
every
agree.
person on this world, an innocent, the poor children that are starving, they shouldn't be starving. We can
Yeah.
feed the whole world, and why is the whole
Yeah.
world not being fed, And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's if we can get into a whole big giant debate on the conflicts and the hardships of all these things,
Well, we
which I
wouldn't
don't
really be
know.
debating, I don't think. I think we'd probably see eye to eye. But what do you think about Habib's speech? Like how did that ripple out? Because I mean, I'm looking at some of his content gets so much traction. I mean, millions of likes,
Yeah.
hundreds of millions of views. I mean, it's crazy. I can't even keep up with it. But what was your impression after that speech?
The speech,
Yeah.
he got that speech got more attention than the
I
event itself.
know it did.
Worldwide, the speech got more
I know.
more attention, just like the Frontier Airlines
I
fiasco.
know.
That
Isn't
got
that
that got world
funny?
news too.
It's just
Yeah,
so funny. Like,
bad boy Frontier, bad boys Frontier. You deserve it.
well,
You didn't make an apology. You stuck by your people when they were wrong. They racial profiled him, and
I know.
that just sucks that they do that. And you know what? Dana White said correctly. Why the F is he fighting Frontier Airlines anyways?
I remember that. I know. He was like, what is he doing on these airlines anyway? I
Yeah.
know. But he's so humble and he was not making a big deal about it. Like the fans did. Everyone backed him up and rallied behind him. But he was he has such a great demeanor about him, the way
Yeah.
he handles
Yeah.
things. And it's no wonder why everyone loves him so much. It's no wonder why
Yeah.
he's such a great leader and people just want to know how he's going to handle things. And that's exactly why, you know what I mean?
But when I asked him, I asked him like 4 days after. I said, "Hey, what the heck happened?" He goes, "Coach," he goes, "I listened to what you always teach me, relax." So I was relaxed, and this
Yeah.
lady came in, and I didn't quite hear her, so I kind of like, like excuse me, like, and then she said, well, first of all, he said she was rude right from the get-go. So he was trying to explain to her that he understands he can take care of it,
Yeah.
but she wasn't having none of it. She wanted him to move. So she went and got the supervisor above her, and she comes in and she goes, "Excuse me, this is what's caught on video, and you have to move." And he's like, "But I don't understand. Explain to me why." Blah blah. This is not his words, but I'm
Yeah.
able. I listen. I can open the door, the whole bit. And she said, "Sir, I'm not going to get a debate with you. You're going to have to leave, or change seats." So of course, the security comes in
But
and
what was
he
the
has to go
reason? What was she trying to say that he
because
did?
two of the flight attendants did not feel comfortable with him in that position. you know, and if they knew who he was, then they wouldn't have said nothing. They would have said, okay, so sorry, because if there's anybody that was going to be the most capable and able individuals to open that door, it's him.
Well, if they
He's
knew that he had 38 million followers on Instagram that were going to come after them, no, I'm just kidding. I don't think they'd want to.
you're right. No, let's face it, you're 100% right.
I
That cost
mean,
them a lot of business. And you and I speaking about them in a negative way, it's cost them a lot of business too. And guess
yeah,
what? You deserve it. You earned it. You deserve what you get. Had
it's
you treated them
true.
with respect, had you treated them with respect, good. You know what they should have did is they should have apologized for the inconvenience. And as a result of what happened, we're going to donate X amount of money to the fire victims in LA. Then you know what?
I love
Frontier,
that.
hello. But
I
no, what did
love
they
that.
do? They stood up for themselves. We stand by our people. And I'm like, you racial profiled him. You stand by your people, you racial profiled him,
That's
So that's bad on them. It really
yeah.
is bad on them.
That is so bad. I saw that whole story when it came out, and the thing that stood out the most to me was how he handled it, honestly. And I was
Beautifully, yeah.
so
Yeah.
impressed with how he handled that. I haven't really seen anyone. I mean, that kind of stuff happens a lot, and I don't see anyone handle it that way. So that was
he didn't handle it Mike Tyson way, right?
no. He was like, exactly. All right.
Remember
So
what happened to Tyson? That was crazy.
I do. Yeah. Okay. But hang on. I want to have just one more thing I want to know about from you before I let you go. Okay. And of course I can bring you back on, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So, but I want to talk about you doing this global fight league. Okay. I don't think I called it the right thing on my
Yeah,
story.
you did.
Okay.
Global Fight League. Oh, you
Okay.
didn't call it there? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Global.
Yeah.
I think I said global MMA fight club. I don't know, but global.
Global Fight League. Yeah.
This is so cool. Tell me about it.
Well, I got contacted by a good friend of mine, Merab, who's in San Francisco. He has his own insurance firm. He's a good brother of mine, and he called me. He goes, "Hey, I was speaking to this new guy named Darren Owen, who's the Global Fight League CEO, and they're interested. They're doing a team competition, and they want you as one of the coaches." And I said, "Man, I'm honored, but I just don't know if I had the time." Well, and Marat, I'm like negative. And Marat's going, "No, let's see it. Let's look at it. Let's fill it out. I think you might find this interesting." I said, "No, Marat," because Marat's such a great brother. I said, "All right, I'll listen." So he gave me the speech. I said, "You know what? Okay, I like it. Okay, it's a great concept because, like you did gymnastics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you guys had a team competition, correct?
Right.
And let's say maybe you have two or three stars on your team that win the floor exercise, the beam, and et cetera, right? The
Yeah.
trampoline.
Good job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then you got three champions, but the overall team didn't win because you had other people that just weren't up to the task. So you can have great stars on one side, but if you don't have the overall strength of the team and the matches aren't done right, then you can end up losing that. And then so you'll take the L, they'll take the W, and they'll advance to the finals type of situation.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool like that. So, it's like high school wrestling. I used to love when I was a kid, I used to go watch high school wrestling all the time. I'd watch the competition.
That's
I
cool.
love the wrestling. So this is kind of one of those concepts. And, Cain Velasquez is the manager. And, one of the questions was asked to me by them that how do I feel about Cain being my boss? I go, Cain will never be my boss.
And we're gonna have Cain on our show, right? And talk about this. Maybe I could bring you both on so we could talk together since you guys are doing this together. But I'm very interested in this. I think this is going to be really fun and really exciting. I think there's going to be a little bit of drama potentially because we do have the fighters have their own coaches, and then you're going to be the coach for the
team. The
team.
team.
So
Yeah,
that's going to be an interesting. It'll be a very interesting dynamic. I think it'll have some excitement to it. They want that, I'm sure. But
it's
yeah, it'll
funny.
be
You
fun.
got some great insight into that because you're right. Because this is the thing, right? You have a fighter that's been training with his coach for X amount of time, and then you got me being the head coach, me and Cain, and the fighter might, and I say might because I'm not saying they will. They might want us to lead them in the corner. The coach has been with him 15, 5, whatever years. He's
Yeah,
going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt
yeah,
because I've been with you all this time. This guy's going to take your position. I'm not feeling good about that. So what
right.
Darren's done is he's given them the option. The fighter can do that. But even though he's given the option, the coach may not like it, you know? So for
Yeah,
me,
that's what I'm thinking.
my job is to make sure my fighter on my team wins. So I'm
Yeah.
going to do whatever I need to do. The coach can take the command and lead. I can just support him. I'd rather
Mhm.
do that since if they're not my fighters personally and I don't train them, I'd rather just support the coach.
Yeah.
That would be my
Well, we'll
style of
see.
coaching.
We'll
Yeah, we'll see
see.
because you know,
You never
you
know.
know,
Your instincts might kick in. You might just you might go into like auto instinct mode and not be able to like handle. See, this is why it's going to be, fun. It's going to be very interesting. A
I'll be
new,
good at it. I can handle it. Mentally, I already handled it in my mind. So I already
yeah,
know the routine. So I'll go into
yeah,
it. So if you mentally put it in your head over and over, okay, I'll just do this, I'll do this, and keep
yeah,
reminding yourself that what your role is. Guess
yeah,
what? When that time comes, you'll do it. It's just like anything, right? You
yeah.
get put on the spotlight without practicing, rehearsing. The spotlight doesn't shine as bright as you'd like it to because you didn't rehearse it. But if
Hmm.
you rehearse it over and over, when you step in that spotlight, you're more ready for it, and you're going to get a bigger bang for your effort than versus,
Yeah,
oh, just throw me in there. Like, you know, when we put you
yeah.
in our podcast, we just threw you in there,
I
and
know.
we didn't practice anything, so we were all over the board. We were
Oh,
all over the board. We were here, we were
okay.
there. So the fans didn't know where the hell we were at. Where you stick on one subject, la la la. See, where you get me on track. I'm starting doing my normal podcast thing, and you say, but you didn't answer the question. What about the rematch with Merab and Umar? So you're sticking on task with
You
the fans really want to see. They don't want to see me
need
being a
me.
cornball. Yeah, it's
You
the
need me,
topics are
Javier.
this. Yes.
You need me. But I will say this, you are extremely humble. I mean, all jokes aside, I mean, you obviously know what you're doing. You obviously are going to figure out and find your way in this scenario. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But you do have a very light, humble energy, and I think that's very endearing. But I know that you know your shit. You're gonna ace at whatever you do. So
And you know why I'm going to ace it? Because I believe in myself, and I'm
mhm.
going to put the effort forward. The confidence comes from belief in yourself. And also, I love the MMA. I love the coaching. I love inspiring people. It's not about just coaching people in fighting. It's about coaching people in life, and how to make their lives better, how to become happier in life. I've done this many, many years where I've helped people, not just fighters, just people in general, have a better quality of life, a better outlook, getting a better job. I mean, I got thousands of stories of so many people that I even forget that I've done something good for them. I had people coming back to me. You know where I'm at? I go, no. Well, I'm in a very great position because of you. I go, what do you mean? It was your
Aw.
comment, your words you gave me, and you inspired me. You helped motivate me, and I'm like, oh, great. Give me some money. And now they're so rich. I'm like, hey, okay, can I borrow $10?
See, there it is. There it is. There it is. All right. Well, I'm definitely want to have you back, but right for now, are there any final words or final thoughts that you want to say to your fans and everyone who follows you?
Get WOLFpak, bags because they're going to be the official sponsor bag for the UFC, and
We
they're
are.
cool. They're really cool bags. So I would say, where's mine? I haven't received mine. I'm in Dubai all this time. I'm waiting. Oh, you don't have an address, huh? Okay. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're gonna get one when you get back. We're gonna send you some
What
for
do you
your
mean when I get
friends.
back? I didn't get one here.
You want
I'm
me to
in
send it to
Dubai.
Dubai?
I
I
don't have an
will.
address yet. I don't have an address yet
Okay,
because I'm
see,
moving. I'm
yes.
moving. I'm moving in a couple of days. So by the time I move, it's gonna be someone else is going to get my pack, and I don't want that.
No, you definitely want it.
I need my WOLFpak.
Yes, we are the official bag of the UFC, and Javier and all of his fighters are going to get one. So can't wait for you guys to enjoy that. And everybody's watching, thank you so much. I know it's really late, not for Javier, but it's late for all the rest of us. And until next time, don't go anywhere, Javier. I'm going to say bye to you afterwards. But until next time, I will see you all on the flip side.